Hey guys, welcome back! This project is really coming together now, and I am so excited to keep going because for the first time since we started, I'm starting to feel like I know where everything is going, which is such a lovely feeling. And as I mentioned at the end of last episode, today I really want to work on this huge area next to our slime temple, and as you can see from all the stone everywhere, we haven't really done anything up here yet, so there is plenty of work to be getting on with. I have a feeling getting this whole bit looking the way I want it to may end up taking more than one episode, but I definitely want to get a good chunk of this work done today. So I think the first thing we're going to need to do is some terraforming. Now obviously we already built the base of this hill, so I think that will probably only need some small modifications, but I do want this top area to be a little bit more dynamic than it currently is, and we're definitely having some height variations. I'm pretty sure when we were putting down all of these signs saying what should go where, that I mentioned wanting this back area to have a bit of a taller hill with some kind of garden on top of it. And obviously this whole area just generally needs to be tidied up a little bit. So before we start with anything else, let's at least try and get the shape of this area sorted. We are done. It's not the biggest terraforming job in the world, but I am very happy with how it came out. We ended up with this kind of two-step hill, and I just really like the shape we have here. Like I said at the start, I wanted this back section to be a bit taller so we have a more dynamic landscape, but I also didn't want it to be super tall because I think it would look a bit weird to suddenly have like a big cliff, and I also don't want it to encroach on the slime temple either, so I think this height should work out wonderfully. And then we do also still have quite a lot of flat land on both sides of the path, and I think I want to do something a little bit bigger in this area by the temple because it has a pretty huge space, so I'm wondering if maybe a pond or something could look good here. I'm still working that bit out. But I do have to say, I am loving this little path up the side of the hill. I think I might have to put a little statue or something at the end of there because I think it could make quite a cute little area if I get it right. But that's not what we're doing today. Nope, the last thing I want to do today is build what's going on this lower step of the hill. And as you can see from the sign we already have here, I want to do a bit of a taller building in this space. And I think I want to do another tower, kind of like the morning tower, but I don't think I want it to be quite as tall because that might throw off the balance with the slime temple. So let's build it up and see how it looks. This is exactly what I was looking for. It's a little shorter than the Morning Tower, like I mentioned before, and it's also just a bit taller than everything over on the Remembrance Hill, which feels like the sweet spot to be in. And as for the design, we are of course once again taking an element from the Witch side and making it all stony and a little bit more dilapidated. And I really like the way this one came out. I think my favourite bit is all the holes in the floor, and I tried, at least for most of them, to make sure I added a button or a slab or something on the floor, kind of like the debris from the collapse, which I think adds to the overall design and makes it feel a bit more real somehow, I guess. And I do also love having the glowberries. I know we've used them in pretty much all the structures on this side of the island, but I still love them and the extra vibe they bring to the slime side. And I mean, there are plenty more details we need to do in all of the surrounding area, all of the flowers and grass that we usually add, but I think I want to leave all those elements for when this whole area is done, just so we don't have to undo anything depending on how the rest of the hill turns out. But as you guys know, I do love having a bit of lore when it comes to my projects, and this project in particular has just had my mind buzzing with all of the lore, so I just quickly wanted to talk about this tower and its purpose in this culture. And when I was thinking about what to build here, I realised that we currently have a structure for the recently deceased, a shrine for those who've been gone for longer, but what we don't have is a place of prayer for the living. Whether it's a relative who's sick, wanting crops to grow well, or just being thankful for what they had, I figured a culture like this needs a place to say a prayer for themselves and those around them. After all, the dead aren't the only ones who deserve to be prayed for. As for the different levels, I don't think there's specific prayers on specific levels, but I do imagine that the higher levels are probably reserved for more important or urgent prayers, where the more day-to-day ones probably took place on this lower floor. And I do have to say, there is something about using the darker palette for the Morning Tower and these lighter blocks for the Tower for the Living that just feels very right, so I am very happy with this. And there is still a lot of work to do in this area. We have a hill to sort out, a pond to build, and plenty of blank space to fill, but I think I'm going to leave all that for next episode, where hopefully I'll be able to finish this whole hill, which would be amazing. It's such a big area and I would love to have it all done, so hopefully we can tackle all of that next episode. But until then, thank you guys for watching, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!